All good afternoon from wherever you are. It's your friend Mwesimbo SKY Banji. It's been a while since we had a post, I believe, but yeah, we, of course, looking around, of course, there is so much taking place and going on, and especially here in Uganda, where things seem to be going haywire. It's absurd that the people in leadership in Uganda don't seem to get it. They don't know even how to, first and foremost, deal with what they should deal with in the first place. Given that in a season like we are in now, of course, it's no news that the pandemic has been distorting things the world over, and I'm sure the world and the people of different governments and countries have tried to adjust accordingly, in as far as expenditures and so forth are concerned. But for us here in Uganda, we're just finding more reasons to spend more, of which half of our budget also depends on donations from foreign agencies and countries, But people are not ashamed that even the fact that we have to borrow or we have to get donations, trying to have a very domestic budget, they're not ashamed to even misuse the same money, actually. And distribute it to henchmen and, whatever they can think of. It's like for them they have been put in place or in leadership to milk Uganda to death point. So it's rather absurd that the things have been escalating, they've been perpetuated by the regime and the folks who benefit from taxpayers' money at the regime's mercy, who will not see and tell the regime that, we are losing it here. But they'll just sit back, wait for their cut, and they're good to go. So it's absurd, really, the events in Uganda. Now they're talking about, the NSSF money, of course, companies and government, civil service and private sector, at least a section of the private sector, is mandatory. It's mandatory to save with NSSF, National Social Security Fund. So, and people have been saving, of course. Aside they pay the other taxes and so forth, pay as you earn and so forth and so on, So Ugandans have been saving for their retirement, And of course, many stories have been going around, as to how the NSSF fund is being mismanaged or misused by the Ministry of Finance, the presidency, and basically this government that we have in place, if I can call it that. So it's absurd that these folks will stop at nothing to, there is nothing that can seem to, bring them to a point of sobering up and say, by the way, how fast should we go? Or, we need to stop. It's like they have a seared conscience. Nothing, no amounts of advice, nothing seems to make sense to them. They'll just come, do whatever they want, make bogus statements and useless statements. And because they know that no one can, stop them or advise them, they're gods to themselves, they go on, So it's really rather absurd. If you think you want to start taxing people's savings, which savings are saved in the midst of useless taxes, which are mismanaged themselves. So it's crazy, and then there's been so much talk about this taxing. You may think that somehow they got an idea that, hey, by the way, taxing creates development,
it's as if they think that the more you tax your people, I mean, the more development you are bound to it, to see, I mean, unfold. So it's rather absurd. It's rather absurd that we have come to this point. You know, you can't think of reducing a useless government which is so large. You know, it's larger than even, I think, the European governments, all European governments. I don't think there's a European country which has a government as huge, of course, and useless as we have in place. We have the RCCs, we have the RDCs, we have the advisors, we have a number of ministers, over 80 ministers. They're not serving any purpose per se to help our country. We have the parliament that is uselessly huge, 500 parliamentarians. So you can't think of reducing the government expenditure by cutting down on the government, reducing the government. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy, it's annoying, it's disgusting. But let's hope that God's hand will somehow stay these things and we get over this chapter. Otherwise, it's disgusting, it's sickening, it's disturbing. I'm sorry for the strong words, but yeah, that's it. That's it, the case in Uganda. We need change as far back as 35 years ago, I think. Because these guys, they have nothing for us in whatever their plans are. It's themselves and themselves and themselves and themselves and their children and their concubines and their mistresses and their scions. I mean, it's rather absurd. It's rather absurd. But let's hope that God's hand will say this and we're saved from this kind of barbaric, way of doing things. Thank you.